Each day you wake up, you have a mission, a very simple one. Get to the next day. So today, you completed the first task of the mission. I know that there are times where things are really difficult, things are really hard, things are really pushing you to be something that you don't want to be. I know that there are many times when you are just asking yourself for a small break, for the silence in your head to go away, and for everything around you to just get right long enough for you to feel like the table in the corner has turned. I know that. I also know that you have been stronger than you could ever imagine. That those people who hear your laughter, who hear your voice, who love to see your smile, to have the ability to come up to you and hug you and just take in your scent matter. But I also know that there are days that are so dark and so scary, and there are times when you're just not sure what to do. Well, the answer is simple. Dial three simple numbers, 988, and get some help. Whether it's just needing somebody to talk to, whether it's just needing some place to vent, this number is a lifeline. If it get to a point where it's so bad that even this is not fast enough for you, 911, just simply tell them I need help to save myself. I know that it's not going to be easy. I know that there are going to be challenges. I know that there are times where it seems like no one cares, but I do. I do, and it's why every time I start this show, I start with this message of hope. I do because there's times when I know that there's just a simple need for somebody to give a care, and that's me. So before you make a decision that you can't live with and we have to live with, make one that you can live with and get help. Now let's talk football. Pride Nation. It's week 2, and I'm about to get patty. Oh my God. Oh, let me get the disclaimers out the way. If you are not for the patty stuff today, I totally understand. This may not be the show for you today. This may not be it. If you are not in the mood for no patty stuff, this may not be it. Okay. But let me start the patty off with what I was going to do had things in the universe went a little different.
We have the legendary G-Mac Cash here. And G-Mac Cash, he has a message for everybody. He says that the Lions are still winning.
Come on.
Let's check him out.
Hey, you know the Lions still winning. For real?
For real?
You know the Lions still winning. Stop lying.
Damn.
You know the Lions still winning. They winning. They say we couldn't do it and we did it. They did.
Woo.
You know the Lions still winning. It can't be. You know the Lions still winning. They is. You know the Lions still winning. For real? They said we couldn't do it and we did it. Hey, they did. In the playoffs, we can't take.
Oh my God. Isn't it funny how things get different? I'm finna talk some stuff that's going to upset a lot of people, not because I want to be right, not because I want to be the guy to say I told you so, but because I'm trying to get us as a fan base to think objectively. Yeah. See, when you add all the emotions and the subjective, opinionated stuff into it, it gets a little cloudy, right? It gets a little foggy in the vision. And it's things that you're not going to see. It's things you're not going to see. Okay. Let me see who in the building with me before I get on my pattiness. I'm about to get there. We got Detroit D in the building. We got Looney Tune in the building. Ghost Gunners in the building. Makai Holtz in the building. Joe Lewis is in the building. Crimson Shadows in the building. The Single Dads Club that's in the building. Paja in the building. We got Marcus Willis in the building. If anybody else is in the building, please throw a comment there so we can talk it up. We got Old Timer Dave. Shout out to you and your team for taking a backup quarterback and beating a team that I honestly did not have y'all beating. I didn't think that much of the Colts, but I certainly didn't think y'all were going to do what y'all did, let alone get a win. So shout out to you and your team. All right. We got my man, Steven Farmer in the building. He says, "What up, Luke?" All right, people. All right. You know what time of the show it is. Before we get into all this stuff, let's get into the rewards. Game balls. First game ball handed out, bar none, goes to Aaron Glenn. I know. Luke, what do you mean? What about Aiden Hutchinson? Let me work my stuff. Let me get through it. It's going to work itself into it. First game ball goes to Aaron Glenn because the defense responded from a performance that was less than desirable from the week one. The same week one that I was said that I was complaining about. He gets a game ball. Aiden Hutchinson, 4.5 sacks, gets a game ball. It's funny to me how disruptive sacks are, but we keep on. Every time Aiden Hutchinson does not do well, I have to hear about pressures. And you know what I didn't hear about at all this week? Pressures. No. No one brought up pressures. No, that's too easy. And this convenient excuse that we give our players when they're failing to meet the standard that says that they should do something is where the problem comes in at. Okay, so he gets a game ball. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I see my son coming. Hold on. All right. My younger son came up talking about can he get some cereal? People, parenthood comes first. All right. So off rip, Aaron Glenn, Aiden Hutchinson. In fact, all my game balls go to the defense, including Terrion Arnold. I know you've seen the articles. I know you heard the stories that Terrion had the worst coverage grade by Pro Football Focus. But if you know anything about Luke, you know Luke don't give two flying nickels about no Pro Football Focus. No. He does not care. He does not care. Let me make sure I add the few people that came up in the building with me. Southwest Lion 26 in the building. 1991 Max Stagg is in the building. Michael Lucis, I hope I said that right, is in the building with me. Just want to make sure I get all those people in there. All right. If you're in the building, do it in there. And then I'm going to put the link in for y'all to talk y'all stuff with me. But the entire defense gets game balls from me. Terrion is playing the hardest position to play in the NFL. Luke, you're crazy. It's not harder than quarterback. Yes, it is. You try running backwards with somebody with all the things that's happening, the ability of these receivers, the way that the rules are set up and everything. Yeah, you try doing it. It's the hardest position to play, hands down. Now that I gave out my game balls, okay, because wait, I'm forgetting this one because this is going to be the one that everybody's going to probably be a little shocked with, and this game ball goes to Dan Campbell. He gets a game ball. Why? Because he took accountability when he did not have to. I get it. He's the head coach. He gets it. But here comes the part of the show where we play the blame game. Yeah. We played a blame game. And in honor of playing the blame game, because, last week when I did the blame game, even though we won, I was called a hater, and it's only 1 week. I hope those same people here to tell me about it's only 2 weeks. I hope you came back. Hope you showed up. But to the ones who did it, in honor of playing the blame game, here's Kanye West, the blame game.
Tell Coach Bowles over there, it's a good job, man. Those guys, once again, it's our third match with them, and they go all out over there. And once again, just play, give you everything they got. It's an unbelievable competition, and so congratulations to those guys the way they played. That's one. Two is, I asked for improvement from last week. Was the story, and we did improve. We did improve, and their coach cost them. Their head coach cost them this one. So critical error into half, and 100% on me. We improved. There's areas we got to continue to improve on, but it's not okay. So anyway, we fought. We got down there. Certainly offense, we double up in yardage. We get down the red zone. We can't get, TDs. And that was kind of the story of the game. Defense, I thought, played lights out. Gave us 2 shots there at the end of the game, and we just couldn't finish it out.
You know the problem I have with that whole entire speech that he just gave? It was a total lie. It wasn't his fault that they lost. No. See, this is what leaders do. Leaders take accountability for the things that they did. That's what leaders do. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what leaders are supposed to show up and do and say, you know what? I had this ship. This is my ship. I go down with it. I lead it. And that's what he did. Because what he could have did is what most cowards would have did, which is throw other people under the bus. But since Dan Campbell can't do it, guess who's here going to do that? Yeah. See, I am, because I'm on some Patty stuff today. Yeah. See, the real culprit to why this is what it is and why this looked the way it looked is Ben Johnson. I'll say it again. The real person who deserves the blame for this starts at the feet of Ben Johnson. See, we can't just skip over this. Last week, I went crazy because I said, hey, I need for the D-line to be better. And all I had to hear about is pressure. Well, guess what? You saw firsthand that this defense is capable. The defensive coordinator is capable. Where's the same energy for fire Aaron Glenn? Where them people at? Oh, if this team don't win, it's because of Aaron Glenn and the defense. Even after Terrion got a pass interference, which, by the way, to the fans who are saying that, oh, it's weak, it happened. He touched the guy's face mask, which definitely blocked his vision from seeing the ball. He did this in college. I talked about this before. Again, I was told I was a hater. Remember, I was a hater for pointing out the reality of these things. And guess what? At the end of the day, the results is still the same. I only can tell you what I see. I'm not going to sit here and give you a bunch of fluff information just for the benefit of clicks. I'm going to tell you the truth. And the truth is, Ben Johnson, if you were to break this up into percentages, you take 100% and you break it up, 65% of it, hell, I'll even take it a step further, 75% of it go to Ben Johnson. I want you to be clear about something. This is a team in the Buccaneers who I'm a fan of. I'm on record for saying I'm a fan of not only the Lions, but the Bucs and the Seahawks. This is a team that had no Vita Vea at a major point in the game, no Antoine Winfield. They didn't have Kalijah Kancey. I can keep going. They're starting right tackles out. Right? And the only person who seemed to understand how to take advantage of their shortcomings was Aaron Glenn. By making sure that Aiden Hutchinson went up against the backup right tackle the whole time. But for some reason, when Vita Vea went out, you would have thought that Ben Johnson would have said, you know what? Let me run the ball right at the heart of them. Let me force them to come inside. Let me do something different with them. Instead, what we got was a watered-down vanilla offense that seemed more hell-bent on trying to make people a part of a game plan that did not require to be part of a game plan. Shout out to Bandit, who said he refused to believe that the Rams schemed not only Amon-Ra St. Brown, but Laporta out of the game plan. And I agree with him, because another week, we forgot that we got a damn good tight end. And for what? to force passes to Amon-Ra St. Brown to get him involved, to force passes to J-Mo to keep people electrified and excited. Now, in the game where you really should use the Thunder, aka David Montgomery, you're doing stuff like bringing in Jahmyr Gibbs and running him up the middle, and then bringing in Montgomery to run him outside. Now you want to switch it up. I got it. Now it makes more sense to do it that way. Now it's more logical for you to do it that way. And don't get me started, because if you don't know, and if you are subscribed to this channel and you check the community page, guess what Luke do for you every single week? Luke posts the halftime stats of the game every single week. For every game, he posts the halftime stats because he got tired of hearing people complain and say that, no, that's not what happened in the first half. Well, guess what? Now there's a documented record. Do you know how many passes your quarterback had at halftime in a game that was 13-6 at half? Come on, somebody please guess. Just guess. Just a strange guess. And if you don't, do what I always say and do your research. Like, come on now. But if you had to guess, would you have came and said, you know what? Jared Goff at halftime had 24 passing attempts. Nope. You'd have never guessed that. Let me go over some things that I don't like. These were flat out weak sauce excuses. They should have called a pass interference on that first pass for the first interception. Bull. How about you throw the ball his way? If the ball was going in his direction and they did that, I could understand them, and I can understand people being upset that they didn't call pass interference. He's throwing to a spot. Don't throw to a spot. You said you saw pass interference, throw it towards him. Don't give me this BS about a spot right now. In the second interception, I don't know who in the hell you was throwing it to. Offensive line, all of a sudden, don't forget how to block. No real push on the run plays. But that's not the problem here. 75% of the blame goes to Ben Johnson. Terrible play calling. 56 if you count the fake punt. 56 passing attempts. 56 passing attempts, people. I want y'all to think about this. 56 passing attempts to a whopping, and this is just the disgustingness that is this game from every aspect that it should not be. But 56 passing attempts to a whopping 27 rushing attempts. And 2 of those were Jared Goff scrambling. Okay, so take those 2 out. 25 rushing attempts to fit. Show me the game that required us to throw the damn ball 55 times. Where the highest margin was 7. One possession. Even when we got it down to 4, people want to tell me, oh, well, this is really on Dan Campbell. Nope, let's play the blame game. The blame game goes to the person who deserves to be blamed. And that falls solely on the shoulder of Ben Johnson. His play calling has been suspect since going back to the playoffs. And when I brought this up, I was told I was a hater. And I love Ben Johnson, but I expect more. You want to know why I don't always go by the box score? Because we won the box score. And it's crazy that we won the box score, but guess what? I had people telling me, I said, look, the defense deserves a award. They like, you think giving up 13 to 20 points? Yeah. Here's the truth, people. That defense, after an interception, held them to a field goal. That defense, after a pass interference on their own fruition, held them to a field goal. That defense turned their ass around more times than they did not. We had 7 trips to the freaking red zone and got 1 touchdown. 7. You know why I blame Ben Johnson more than I blame Dan Campbell? And I know he's the head coach. Because guess what? Every time anything happens with this team good, they praise Ben Johnson. They give all the love to Ben Johnson. Tape Daddy, shout out to you. I'm a Bucs fan too, so I get what you're feeling right now. I just happen to, report for the Lions. I like who I like. But guess what? Ben Johnson gets the bulk of this blame. He gets to hold the bulk of this blame. You know why? Because Ben Johnson is the major culprit. And why? Because this team is too goddamn good and invested too much damn money for us to only muster 7 points. It's too good. I don't want to hear about, what about the gaffe that Dan Campbell had at halftime? No one cares, especially not on this end. I do not care. I do not. Because you're not winning games with field goals. We do not care. You go and look at last year's team, and they were averaging 28 points. Now you go and show me what they averaged in this year and as an offense and tell me what's really good. You scored 7 points on 7 trips to the red zone. The play calling was so stupid. And if you're wondering why I gave 75 to him, that's because 25. Nah, that's not fair. I'll give 20%. 20% goes to Jared Goff. I've never seen somebody in my entire life be so stupid. I told everybody we made a mistake. We should have waited until he played this year out, then paid him. Not paid him before. That's my quarterback. And yes, he's going to get better. You know why? Because he's been that bad. He's been that bad. And as bad as he's been, I am not surprised nor am I shocked that people are going to call it out. He has been horrible. Even when we had to have it, Ben Johnson calls up a play where I witnessed people go to the end zone. You know what your quarterback did? Threw it short when we had no timeouts, no way of stopping the freaking clock. And he didn't just do it at the half. He did it at the end of the game. He threw the ball into the dirt. Gave us no chance when the only place you can throw the ball is the back of the freaking end zone. And guess what? We don't get to talk about that. See, Ben Johnson's the new Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. No. We don't talk about Bruno. See, that would be a mistake. That would be a mistake. That would be the mistake. This offense and the money invested in it is too good to get 7 red zone trips and only score 1 touchdown. It's too good. It's too good. It's too many opportunities that was left on that field. And as much as I would love to act like that's not the case, it absolutely is. But I can't tell you how many passes I saw go to the dirt. I can't tell you how many passes should have been picked up. I can't tell you how many times I've told you that we have a problem when it comes to mobile quarterbacks. And Baker Mayfield didn't even give us the worst hell. I'll take it a step further. You're getting ready to go against Kyler Murray, who is feeling really good about his new weapon, Marvin Harris Jr., who just put a slacking on their opponents, 41-10. I bitched last week about our performance against the backup to the backup, and my defensive line responded. I got people hitting me up more concerned with trying to tell me about how great Aiden Hutchinson is versus the reality of what really went down with this game. Make no mistake, Aiden Hutchinson deserves a game ball. He performed. He did his thing. I appreciate what he did. He beat up the backup right tackle. Thank you. But you know who else whooped some ass? The interior of the defense. Because they was giving them hell the entire time at the middle, which led to a lot of those sacks. Right? I'm a Bucs fan. Rashard White is not it. They could not run the ball on the Lions. They could not do much of anything other than passing. You know why? It's because the defense was hung out to dry. He was hung out to dry. And the worst part about it is, when you look back at this game, They were force feeding people for the sake of force feeding. You would have almost thought that they had them on fantasy or something. And again, I'm just trying my best to be cool about it, but let's be honest. We can't just look at a win and say a win is a win when there's no improvement from that week. You cannot do it. You cannot convince me, for one, that this is the way. And guess what? When you look at the game, when you look at the box score, you're going to see all these numbers that don't mean diddly squat. Don't mean diddly squat. I can't tell you how many times. If you look at the play-by-play drives and just tell me how it happened. I don't care that they won time of possession. I don't care that they had more rushing yards. I don't care like I don't care about that. I don't care that we had more passing yards. What I care about and look at in an objective form and fashion was how the game went in its context and the results. And guess what? In the results, we had more numbers because we somehow was playing a game that the Buccaneers didn't even realize they were playing. We were playing the game like we were down 17 points, and the Buccaneers were playing the game like we can't lose our 7-point lead. See, there's a difference in the game. See, the Buccaneers were still trying to attempt to run the ball, even when let me tell you something. Let me tell you why I can care less by what Dan Campbell did at the halftime. Because Todd Bowles, a head coach who I, as a Bucs fan, want fired. Don't want him here. I believe we can get better, right? Todd Bowles calls a play in which he passes the ball, knowing that if it's incomplete, the Lions got another timeout. He gifted you an opportunity with his stupid play call. Gifted it to us. Like literally was like, hey, here's the thing, we're gonna gift this thing to you. Gifted it. And when he gifted the play, you know what he did after that? The Lions come out and throw short of everything. Short of everything. You have a 6'3" receiver in Tim Patrick. You have a 6'4" to 6'5" tight end in Laporta. And you telling me we ain't have no jump balls? You throwing the ball into the dirt? Really? You want to hear a fun stat line, people? I'm gonna give you a fun stat line. Watch this one. Can somebody tell me how many times was Jared Goff sacked that game? I'll wait. Somebody tell me how many times was Jared Goff sacked that game? Please tell me. Anybody. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. 0. What the hell were you afraid of, Jared Goff? Oh, they were pressuring him. Really? 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 You were holding the ball. People were open. That intercept, it was so many plays where he just dumb decisions. Just dumb decisions. Now, my whole goal was to come on and get my rant out. Because from here on out, good people, if I come in and be objective about this team, whether we win, lose, or draw, please understand it ain't personal. Please understand it ain't personal. This is the kind of stuff that we can't have. And the benefit of my show is I get to let you come in and talk your talk with me. And that's where we are at this point. You've heard me rant enough to the point where I let anybody come in. Whether you a Buccaneers fan, Packers fan, Titans fan, Cowboy fan, I let you come in and talk your talk with me. Does not matter what you a fan of. You just need a telephone with a microphone. You don't even got to be on camera. But I want you to understand something. Your quarterback, since getting paid, has not performed well. Your offensive coordinator who came back is second guessing himself too much. Todd Bowles out-coached Ben Johnson. You know what could not happen? You couldn't have Aaron Glenn get out-coached. He out there playing with two rookie and again, to the people I told you about Carlton Davis, he's a faster Cam Sutton. Carlton Davis should have had 3 interceptions this season from what I've seen. But for some reason, he do things that I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. I can tell you this much. Luckily, there's a bright side to this. The Lions just simply need to look at the season in quarters. The first quarter, the worst case scenario, you go 1-4. Worst case. Best case scenario or ideal scenario is you go 3-1. The scenario that I don't want to see is 2-2. And before somebody come in here and be like, well, you know what, Luke, you tripping. This whole week was weird for people. The Ravens is 0-2. I don't care. This is not a Ravens channel. Because while you talking about the Ravens being 0-2, the Packers 2-0. The freaking Vikings. The freaking Vikings are 2-0. Don't come talking to me about what somebody else is doing. This is a Lions channel that talks Lions football. Don't come in here giving me these excuses. Don't come telling me about how what everybody else did. Hey, who had these teams been? I don't care. In your division, you're barely staying pace. You're tied with the Bears, who have a rookie quarterback who's still trying to find himself. Don't come telling me about some other teams that's not even in our conference. The Packers just won a game with a backup quarterback. Again, the link is in the chat so y'all can jump in and join with me. Okay? But I'm just saying. So I'm just pointing out, we got to be more realistic with this. Packers lost week 1. Oh, they did. So look, so you 1-1, Packers 1-1, Bears 1-1. Vikings is 2-0. You should be 2-0. I stand corrected. Thank you for that, William Kirkman. I actually forgot about that. That's when they got my man hurt. The problem I have is the Lions is supposed to be the darlings of the NFC North. We're supposed to be the ones winning the division. And yes, there's plenty time to do it, but you can't do it like this. You just can't do it like this. Okay? And it's terrible. It's terrible. Again, the other part that blew my mind. Okay? You drafted Jack Campbell. You drafted him. Where is it at? Somebody put it in there. My man Marcus Willis. How in the hell is Malcolm Rodriguez getting more playing time? Why? And if you want to blame Aaron Glenn for that, fine. But let's keep it a buck about some of this stuff. Now, again, my guest is in the building, Crimson Shadow. I'm going to let him come in and talk. Today, I'm going to let y'all rant. Feel free. I'm going to let y'all be so much a part of this show if you join, because I want to hear what you got to say. Crimson, what up, though?
Dead on the inside. Vikings are leading their division. I have no effing idea. Malik Willis is apparently more accurate than Jared Goff. So I'm just wanting to put that shotgun right in my mouth right about now.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to let you talk. Give me your rundown on the game. I'm listening.
The rundown of the game was, I looked at this and I'm like, this is every fear I had with signing a guy like Jared Goff. He was every joke I have ever made in my entire life about him being a noodle arm. And every time I've had to hear, like, oh, no, he could do the deep ball. Oh, yeah, he could do it. He did in L.A. He could do it. Yeah, effing right. J-Mo's got to slow down half a fucking mile just so he can actually even catch the freaking thing. If it's not that, it's Ben Johnson's cutesy little play calls. Oh, I'm going to throw it right behind over here. Monty's got it. Oh, no, he got tackled. Now we're 4 yards behind. Oh, now we're second. We'll run up the middle. Oh, no, we only got 2 yards. Well, we're not going to do another run play. We're going to pass it a couple times. Oh no. Oh, like 4th and 3rd, we're gonna have to do this again. How many fourth situations? It's like, come on, you are missing so many units on the Bucks. You have no Vaki, you have no Casey. Just give it to Monty. Do the same shit you did with the Rams. It's not that complicated. But freaking Ben Johnson, he always makes it so effing complicated, and I don't know why. It's so fucking infuriating when you have freaking Hutch over here. Oh, don't mind him getting 5 sacks. First time in his career ever doing that. But hey, what else is new there? Like I said, defense carried your freaking asses, and you let it go to waste again.
They did what they were supposed to do. They spazzed out, they went crazy, and they went hard. And shout out to 2 guys in the podcast who says you cannot throw to Laporta 2 times in 2 games and think the offense is humming. There's no way. Bandit said it best. I refuse to believe that they schemed him out of the damn game plan.
No way.
I refuse to believe it.
Shoot, what's with our red zone offense? That's the one thing I'm noticing. We used to be really good in the red zone. Now all of a sudden, non-existent. Where's Laporta for this? He's excellent in the red zone.
Now, and again, Southwest Lion 26 says it's easy to criticize the Goff contract after the fact, but Goff did play well for 2 straight seasons, led Lions to divisional title and 2 playoff wins. I feel you, but guess what? The benefit of it is you drafted a guy in Hendon Hooker, right? In a league where mobile quarterbacks are now the thing. You drafted that guy to be the heir and apparent, and you knew that you still had 1 year left on the deal. If you were going to sign Jared Goff and you felt that confident about him, then you should have did it before the 2 seasons, and that way the contract deal would have been less, and he would have still had a chance to have an out. But you did it when you did it. The problem is it's not a matter of criticizing him after the contract as much as is you were paid, and guess what? You're not playing the way that we saw you playing. And what gives? Part of that is Ben Johnson's play calling. Part of that is the utilization of personnel. And the other part of it is just him not getting the ball where it needs to be. These passes are going straight to the dirt. These passes are not going beyond the first. I don't understand how he doesn't understand the situation. Like, if you're worried about getting picked off, so be it. At this point, we have nothing but that one play. Throw the damn ball to the back of the end zone. Give your players a chance to make a play. So I'm not criticizing him for just having a contract. The contract is the least of my worry. My problem is if I'm watching the game and can see people open, but I'm watching the ball go to the dirt, or I'm watching players be put in a position to get hit, then yeah, I look at the quarterback and say, you're not playing well.
I mean,
he deserves that credit.
I mean, if anything, this team is pretty much built to have a freaking pocket quarterback like Goff with that O-line. That's the one thing that you have that's kind of a rarity in the NFL now, is to have an O-line that good. But that's the thing. If that O-line, if they start retiring or they start getting injured the older they get, Goff's going to get more and more exposed. And that's what I've always been worried about. You've already seen him. It's like the dude barely had any pressure whatsoever, and the guy is throwing like he's panicked. Like, what the heck?
That's the thing. I'm telling you, they were playing 2 different games. He was playing the game like he was down 24-0.
Yeah.
Like the Bucks were playing like, just don't lose the lead. When we finally got the lead at 16, 16-14, right? I'm like, okay, cool. But guess what? You start to see where the Lions couldn't really muster anything once they got there. And I just wish that this is the thing that pissed me off the most. When you watch that game yesterday, we didn't even look like ourselves.
Not a chance. Not a chance that we look like ourselves.
Of run first. Dan Campbell said he was passing the ball to set up the run. Fine. You don't care about any of that. But here's the reality. We have the ability to take over a team and do damage, and we were not doing it. We wasn't. The running backs were not giving their fair shake in terms of being able to run the ball. When you look at the numbers, I'm going to show you something strange, right? You want to know something funny? Do you know what the numbers show between the first 2 games of last year and this year?
It's pretty early on, but I'm not really sure what's
last year we had 70 pass attempts to 61 rushing attempts. Okay. This year we have 84 passing attempts to 58 rushing attempts. We are passing the ball way too damn much and not running the ball enough. On top of that, okay, On top of that, this idea of trying to force balance ain't lining up because you know why? We're too busy trying to figure out who to give the ball to. And Ben Johnson, when he do call a screen or a bubble screen or something like that, it's so predictable that it's not even funny. Where were the draw plays at yesterday? Where were the plays to Laporta that gets him moving in space? Like seriously, we're not getting the ball to all of our weapons because we're having a hard time figuring it out. Now, again, granted, this falls on Ben Johnson.
I mean, the way I was looking at the whole game, I'm like, Bucks figured you out. 3 games in, they just figured out what you do. This is what they did. They did the same thing last year. They love doing their bubble screens. They love doing stuff like that where they're just throwing behind the line and they just gas it right through. They love doing that, and the Bucks figured them out. I'm not really shocked we lost this game. Out of all games I could see us losing, it was against the Bucks. They know how we play. But being able to play us that many times in this early of a frame, yeah, I'm not shocked that they knew how to counter us. But still, no fucking excuse. With that many weapons and that many pieces missing, you should have won this game. You should have got more than one effing touchdown. It's a fucking joke.
And on top of that, you have to take this into account. You have to take this into account. This season thus far, we have not played football in all 3 phases. Whereas last year, I saw us hungry and we played all 3 phases, or we at least played 2 out of the 3. We're not even playing 2 out of the 3 phases in these games. We're not playing good offense and defense, or good offense and good special teams, or good special teams and good defense. We're playing good defense one game, good defense another game. The first game, I can't even credit the offense because that was more of a good defensive game too. Even though they were quick passing us to death, I was still pissed that our damn D line wasn't beating up on these backups more.
I mean, thank God they took it to heart. Making up for because I was really worried about that when I saw that the freaking Cardinals destroyed the Rams. I was so effing pissed at that point. I'm like, see, this is what we should have did to the Rams, is what I thought. But
100%. And again, if you want to join the show to talk your stuff about this game and vent and get it off your chest, this is the time to do it. The link is in the description. You do not have to have your camera on, but you do have to have a phone with an internet connection of a sorts and a mic. That's all you have to do. The mic should be already on the damn phone, so you're already halfway there. You don't have to be on camera. Okay.
I do respect Dan Campbell taking the blame. I respect that, but there's no way I could have blamed him for this. Not in a million years. This was all offense, and I don't see that being his job unless he was making some calls, but I highly doubt he was.
Ben Johnson making all the calls. If there's one flaw about Dan Campbell, is Dan Campbell allow his coaches to coach, and he goes in and help tweak little things here and there, but he allows his coaches to coach. Okay, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
he stays in his lane. I get it. And I can respect that.
And listen, I can't even argue. Listen, Southwest Line 26, I can't even argue and say Tampa wanted it more than us because guess what? Wanted it more with me. I had to see maximum effort. I watched the game. I'm a Bucks fan. There were parts of the Bucks where I'm just like, why are they calling this? What do they do this for? Okay, cool. I guess the line's going to do this. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, like, all right, this is crazy. This is exactly why I don't like Todd Bowles. But if you watch that game, the Lions lost the game more than the Bucks won it because the Lions really did not do any one thing well other than be bad and shoot themselves in the foot.
Speaking of getting hit in the freaking legs, I pray to God Amon-Ra can play next week. We lose Amon-Ra next week. Oh God, that's gonna be brutal. I wouldn't blame him. I heard it's not long term, but God, he looked all messed up coming out of that game.
And again, it felt weird. Like where were the shots down the field to threaten to push him back with J-Mo? Wasn't there? They best safety wasn't even in.
Shoot, you were throwing to Tim Patrick. How many targets did Tim Patrick get? I think he got like 2 catches, about the same as Laporta.
It's ridiculous. Let me hold back tight in the back crimps. I'm gonna bring in my next guy, Michigan man. I know he been patiently waiting. He gonna say something to me about Malik Willis. I know he is. I can see it in his spirit.
Oh my God, no! Right.
Yeah, it's coming. It's definitely coming. I know it is. Watch this. Let me bring in the Michigan man himself. Jesus Christ, bro. I know you finna say something about Malik Willis, but go ahead and talk your stuff. I'm listening.
Well, I'm not going to say nothing about Malik Willis because I'm not a Malik Willis fan. I was just saying that we should have drafted him. I wasn't going to say that about him. But what I am going to say something about is the former Well, yeah, the former Michigan, the Michigan alumni,
Mm-hmm.
the outstanding edge rusher, Aiden
Mm-hmm.
Hutchinson. What a wonderful, even though we lost, but what a wonderful game we had. And I
Yeah.
remember, I remember, Luke, you was hating on Aiden Hutchinson.
Hating on him or tell the
Like
truth?
you was, I
Hating on
guess.
him or telling. Listen, if you want to be honest, and again, I was objective about him. When Miko came up with the analogy that he was playing Greek yogurt, I agree with it because shout out to Miko. I agree with it because he is playing Greek yogurt, and it's no coincidence that he succeeded in that level of play when they had to do more damage to try to slow down DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil up the middle, which forced a lot of things towards him. On top of the fact that he was going up against the backup guy. Now, I'm not downplaying what he did because he did what he was supposed to do. You went against a backup right tackle and you beat the brakes off of him. Kudos to you. But don't come here acting like he went against Wharf and did him dirty, because when he went over on that side with Wharf, he was shut out. So I'm just putting into perspective. Now, I'm trying to be cool about it, but at the end of the day, he's still playing Greek yogurt, which means him by himself, playing Greek yogurt by himself is disgusting. But add some fruit or some peanuts or something to it, it's delicious. So that still stands for me. My stands ain't hating. It's just being objective.
And I wasn't talking about the game, okay? Because I just recently came in. I was talking about the draft, the draft class he came in with. You
Okay.
you wanted George Karlaftis. You wanted you wanted everybody else but Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
Aiden Hutchinson.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How many R pros do Aiden Hutchinson have?
How many All Pros do he have?
Yeah.
Didn't he get one? Ever correct? He got
No,
one left.
no, zero. The guy that I wanted has already been to the All. It's already been an All Pro first team, which is Kyle Hamilton.
Okay.
Now let me ask you this: did you happen to see the Kansas City versus Ravens game? That game where Kyle Hamilton literally did a good enough job to keep Travis Kelce off the board for the most part. So again, don't get me wrong. I'm not against Aiden Hutchinson, but what I'm telling you is neither pick can be wrong, or neither pick can necessarily always be right. I'm not mad at the Aiden Hutchinson pick. I'm just simply putting it into context. The week before, and I brought this up earlier, all I heard about was pressures and pressures and pressures when he didn't do well against the backup to the backup, right? This week, he had 4.5 sacks, and I gave him a game ball. I said, kudos to him. Good job. Excellent. Well played. I love what he did. I even gave him a shout out on my Instagram and said, this is what you want from your player, to perform like this every week and week in and week out. And guess what? I give credit where credit is due. I'm just not on this train that a lot of the blind loyalists who are Michigan fans are on when they say, oh, Aiden Hutchinson is a generational talent. I don't see that in him. I don't. I see a guy who needs some help. He had the help yesterday, and he performed really well, and I'm excited about it. I think what he did gave us a really good chance to win the game, and what he did had a great impact.
Okay, and now let's get to the negative side. Luke. Okay, the negative side. What play calling was Ben Johnson doing yesterday? Ben Johnson to me is an offensive guru, but yesterday, I don't know. I don't know if he had something else on his mind or what was going on. Cause if Rhea and what's the Buccaneers other defensive tackle? If you could help me out
Elijah
with that.
Cansey.
Yes, and Kansi. If they two top defensive tackles are gone out of the game, why not get a ball to David Montgomery and did what he did to the Rams? Let him do what he did to the Rams last week. You seen what he did in the overtime. They just gave him the ball, said, "Stop me if you can."
And to show you how crazy it is, after the first drive from the Buccaneers, they went down, got stopped after getting a pass interference, got stopped and held for a field goal on a Aiden Hutchinson sack fumble, right?
Yeah.
Which is nice. The very first play of our drive, you know what we come out and do? Pass it for an interception.
Yeah, I remember that play, and that should have been a pass interference right there.
But I'm gonna tell you why it shouldn't have been. Okay, I'll tell you why it shouldn't have been a pass interference, and I'll tell you why I disagree with the pundits who like to try to make excuses when the Lions lose, but don't want to be objective about when they win. And the reality is if he throws the ball directly at J-Mo, I believe they throw the flag. But where he threw the ball at was nowhere near J-Mo. It wasn't about a spot. It was nowhere near J-Mo. And that's the problem. If you're going to throw the ball by J-Mo, you said you saw pass interference, then just put the ball over his shoulder to make it look like, hey, he was bounced off his spot, and this is what prevented him from doing it. They didn't do that. And so because they didn't do that, I thought that the no call of the flag was legit. I thought that the Buccaneers was way more aggressive with handling our receivers. They seemed to be way more of the enforcers when it came to handling our receivers. And that's the truth. Like, that's just the truth. But, we're not going to be able to say that this should have been a flag. So what? That's the beginning of the game.
Okay, I can agree with that. Okay. See, Lou, that's why I like talking to you. You always come, you always come with the valid points and the valid reasons, always, bring a brother back down to earth on certain topics. But the only topic you can't bring back down to earth on is that Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson is a future Hall of Fame. I was just trying to
Can
say.
somebody show where I said Aiden Hutchinson is hot garbage, is trash, and anything else?
No, you said he's not a generational talent. He is a generational talent, a future Hall of Famer. I just want you to know that. He's a future Hall of Famer.
Okay. Listen, I hate to break it to you. But there's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame who should not be in the Hall of Fame. So I'm starting to be concerned with that. But I get what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. But in the effort of being able to put things in a perspective base, because I know that there were some people who felt that the pass interference call should not have been called or thought that it was weak. I want you to just look at this. Okay, this is 100% pass interference, because had this happened to our receiver, we would be upset. You cannot be this grabby and touchy. Yes, he's looking for the ball, they're doing it, but watch this hand right here. See that in the face mask?
Yeah,
that little face tug is what threw everything off. If he does not do that, okay, if he does not do that, they do not call this. Everything else he's doing with this picture is beautiful. Everything about this stands out to me and say, you know what? He's playing the ball. It's when his hands go into there. See, you can't do while you still holding this hand. You cannot do that. Okay? You cannot do it. And it's unfortunate. And even after all of that, guess what? The Lions turned them around. Lions turned them around. That's what you want to see. That's what needs to happen. That's what your defense brought to the table, right? Everybody kept telling me about how he's getting double teamed. So what? Everybody else is too. Look at this. DJ Reader is getting double teamed. This right here, this little stunt in the round, good call. But he don't step up if this dude, DJ Reader, ain't coming up. So good call, good play. I love every bit of it. I'm excited. I'm happy about it. But this right here, you cannot call pass interference when you're not throwing the ball directly at the receiver. Now, I want y'all to see something. Because this is the kind of stuff that I saw that pissed me off. He's so dialed in to get the ball over here, he didn't see the guy underneath. Brilliant little play design by Ben Johnson. Didn't see the guy underneath and Gibbs. But watch this. If you don't force the ball here, trying to get over here, it makes a difference. But you got to put it in a position where the receiver has a chance. And he didn't do that. That's on Goff. That's on Goff. We should have came out establishing the run. That's what we should have did. And it's upsetting that we didn't do that. So, again, I'm not looking for excuses, but I'm not taking none today neither. That's all I'm saying.
And Lou, I wanted to say something. Hopefully someone from Fox might come across your channel and hear this. But Fox, stop the Barry Sanders disrespect. Going to compare the Barry Sanders juke move to Baker Mayfield yesterday.
Well, that's their job. Their job is to sensationalize and say who did it better because of certain circumstances. But that little juke that Baker Mayfield did was weak as hell, and I don't even know how the damn defender fell for it. But that's not my point, right? And shout out to Willie Ross, who says pressures don't mean anything if it don't cause a negative play. It don't. And to the people who want to talk to me about pressures, let me explain something to you. There was more damage done in a sack than it was in a pressure. Because I can show you in the Rams game where they were putting pressure, but he was still completing it for first downs and long drives. Mm-hmm. So, and again, shout out to Cap Ice Cold. Goff said, I got 2 wide open people. Nah, let me force it somewhere else. That's what he did. That's what he did. That didn't even require him to force it there.
And before you let on your next guest, Luke, I want to ask you. I mean, you're probably gonna do a video later on in the week, but I want to ask you a question about next week game. All right, and that's okay.
Okay.
How do you think our 2 DBs going to fare up against the Cardinals' wide receivers?
In my opinion.
Yeah, in your opinion.
It's going to be contingent upon if the quarterback decides to move the pocket. I believe that our receivers will do just fine against them if they understand how to tighten up on some of the things. More than likely, they're going to find a way to get Harrison in the slot like they did, obviously just against the Rams, and they're going to find ways to get him on the outside. The reality is he's fast, but he's not as fast as some of the receivers we faced thus far. But he's more physical in how he goes for the ball. He's more shifty in how he runs his routes. And so to me, I think that we should fare well if we get another performance from our D-line like this. Okay. Oh, and to the Najee Davenport people, he's hurt again. One game and he's hurt. This dude's never played a full fucking season, at least maybe once. But still not good enough. And the reality is next week they're going to be challenged, and our safety play is going to have to be stellar.
Yeah,
it's going to have to be.
But all right, Lou, you go ahead and let's your next guest on. That's all my points for right now.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Again, if you want to join the conversation, you simply just click on that link and jump in. I'm all ears. Appreciate you for coming through, man.
All right, thank you for letting me on.
No problem, Mills. And again, it's one of the things where you have to look at. I'm bringing Crimson back in. He's been in the back waiting patiently. It's frustrating. Cap Ice Cole says, I actually think by mid-season our rookie DBs will actually surprise. I do too, because this is great learning opportunities for them to see it. The more they call him with this handsy stuff, the more he's going to realize, okay, I got to adjust. And that's cool. You want to do trial by fire. I get it.
I mean, I think Arnold will be fine. I mean, he just needs to learn to stop doing that, trying to be cute with his hands and whatnot. You're not going to get away with that stuff. You're already getting busted. This is like, the 4th time you've been busted trying to do this, man. You got to learn this stuff here. Don't get me wrong. I still think he looks way better than the outing we had with Akuda when he was here. That's for dang sure.
And again, if you look at it, he's at least in the play. See what I'm saying? He's at least in the play. If he wasn't in the play, I'd be like, all right, we got a problem.
Yeah, with Akuda, if Akuda was covering someone, he's going to be like a good 2 or 3 yards away from the guy.
100%.
No doubt about that. Shoot, what do you think of Levi? You think he's actually been improving pretty well?
I think Levi has definitely shown why they took him in the second round, the last 2 games. But I also think that this has been more convenient of the lack there of talent that he's going against. He's going to be against some backups, and then the ones that was not a backup on the Buccaneers was by play design that did stunts and moved them in a certain way, or we blitzed and they opened up lanes for him to get through. But his play has been huge for us. I like what I'm getting out of Levi Onwuzurike. I hope that he can keep it up consistently. Has he done enough to warrant a contract? No. It's only been 2 games. Talk to me when we get close to the end of the year. But has he done enough for me to take notice and say, okay, cool? Yes. Has he done enough to make it to where we can no longer use Pascal? F not. And it's blowing my mind that we're not doing more small sets too, which I can blame Aaron Glenn for, but it's hard to blame Aaron Glenn when your defense is actually performing.
Yeah, he's pretty much the only coach right now that's actually doing what he's supposed to do. And, well, our offense, which is absolutely shocking to me, is sputtering. Who the heck saw that coming?
Yeah. Giovanni Lyon II says 12-5 record. I still see it. I still see it's a possibility. Arno is killing the yes and no, because you got to think he makes those 1 and 2 mistakes. In the first game, I totally get it. Those mistakes are going to come. Second game, he's going to get it, but each game is getting better. So it's only been 2, but it's getting better, and it's a necessary evil.
Man, I'm going to be freaking worried about next game though, dealing with freaking Harris over here.
Harris is the least of your worries. Kyler Murray should be your biggest concern.
Why not both?
Because Kyler Murray's mobility is going to cause you a problem. And so you have to look at when quarterbacks get to moving, you don't have a athletic enough D-line to do it. You got a guy who's athletic enough to adjust and switch like that in James Houston, but hey, he's a healthy scratch. Just go ahead, and I hate to say this because I hate seeing people waste talent of people who can go out and help somebody. Let that man go so he can go play with somebody else. Seriously, let James Houston go play with somebody else.
It feels like a hostage situation at this point.
Yeah, and again, this play right here is probably one of the best throws from Jared Goff the whole time, right? One of the best throws. But where was this at again?
Again, they should have did this when it was the last drive. Why did they kept throwing the short yards, not even running it out of bounds?
It just made no sense. I mean, anything can happen. You can get bumped. You can get whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. But then look at this. It's 3rd and goal. It's 3rd and goal. Now, I want y'all to be clear about something. Vita Veda is in, right? I do not care. All right? I do not care. But he's in. It's 3rd and goal. Why are we passing? Why? And to show you
the play, this is the one where he just throws it to JMO.
Yeah, he's forcing it. Because look up top. Who's open up here? Tim Patrick. He doesn't even look left.
Throwing to Patrick, so you somewhat trust him, dude. So,
but he doesn't even look left. Look, he never looks left.
The thing that scares me about Goff, I think what he gets in his mind, he thinks of the player he wants to throw it to, and he just commits to that player, and he doesn't just, look down to see who's open. And that's what terrifies me about him.
And what frustrates me the most is if there's ever a time to go for it, and again, this is because a lot of fans have hoopla and screamed and hollered and no, don't do it, no, don't do it, take the points. That's what they said, right? And I'm telling you, field goals don't win game. I would have went for it here. I'm close enough that I would have went for it.
We went for it on our own. What was it, 20 for a fake?
That's what I'm saying. I would have went for it here. It's early enough in the game that if you don't get it, guess what? Your defense has shown me already. And listen, by the way, people, in case you didn't know, at this point, Aiden Hutchinson already had like two and a half sacks at this point. So I would have went for it. Yeah. Put the pressure on y'all. Make a play.
Shoot. I don't know. I'm probably ballsy enough. When they were on their 50, I would have sent Bates out there. I'm like, I've seen Bates kick a 60-yarder. God's sakes, have him at least get some points. If your offense wasn't going to get it, at the very least, you would have passed him if you would have had to get another field goal on the end. But apparently, we don't trust Bates to do that either. We punted at our own 50 when our guy could easily do it at 60.
And again, to show people how disruptive the middle of the field was, they run another little stunt because all the attention comes to DJ Reader right here, and then they're going to run a little loop around that with Aleem McNeil. And watch how the pressure up the middle comes, right? Just so you can kind of see it. And that's Wingo. I'm sorry. But Wingo comes up in here. Look at this. Now, I want y'all to see this. Baker Mayfield's in panic mode. He's not even looking for anything right here. He's just looking, let me get out and get my ass back downfield.
Yeah, Baker had a lot of oh crap moments right there.
Wingo right here at this point there. I need for Dog right here to dive out. He didn't. Not that athletic.
Yep.
All right. Now, Baker's running. And look what happens. If this Kyler Murray, this is even more scarier because you have it. Now, I will say this. I didn't see this until just now, but this should have been a holding call. Even though he getting double teamed, This should have been a holding call. Because look,
Now he's gone down like that.
Well, he's going to tackle him down.
Yeah, I see it.
But guess what? This is what happened when you leave the game in the hands of the refs. Don't put it in the hands of the refs.
Yeah, considering this is kind of our MO, we tend to like collapse a pocket around them. Kyler's just gonna gash our asses if we do anything like that.
Yeah.
God dang it.
You know, so you got the biggest task for us is stopping Kyler Murray. And the biggest way to stop Kyler Murray is to get him to the ground. We need the sacks. We need to knock him down and get him off his spot. If you can do that, cool.
Yeah, and definitely. Number one thing we need to do is get our freaking offense back. I don't know how good the Cardinals defense is. I don't know if they're really all known for being that great, but for the love of God, please, for the love of God, do not struggle. I know the Bucs defense has to be better than the Cardinals defense, right? They have to be. I don't watch much Cardinals football.
It's hard to say that right now. I'm gonna tell you why it's hard to say it. It's hard to say it because the Cardinals are sneaking up on most people because people are sleeping on them.
True.
Right? And we snuck up on people because people slept on us. So when you sleep on somebody off rip, you're going to get
punished.
Yeah, you're gonna get a little leeway for those mistakes.
I mean, kind of guess what happened to the Ravens with the Raiders. That's easily a good idea of what happened there.
And again, it's one of them things where we got to be a little bit more objective with it. Again, so I do got to help my son with some homework, so I got a few more minutes. But then I got to go help him with this homework. I still don't understand why schools send kids home with homework. It's just another method or another way to teach kids how to be employees. I'm teaching mine to be business owners. That's not the point, but I had to bring that up. Okay. Let me get to the chat, man. John Jones says exactly. Kyler is definitely going to run there. Cardinals by 7. Lions need to be humbled. They got humbled.
They ain't humble now.
They got humbled. You was at home with a home crowd behind you. You got humbled.
Man, what game is worse? This game or last year's week 2 against the Hawks? I don't know which is worse.
This game was worse because everything was in your favor. They had all these significant injuries and you couldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I guess this just lacks the fucking ski masks.
The ski mask thing was just dumb.
I
hated that.
Dumb.
I hated that. That was just dumb. But I can tell you this much: I do expect to see. I do expect more. Now, John Jones says, "Luke, I think we might lose Sunday." Is it possible? Yes, if they play like this. But to me, I need for Ben Johnson to get back to opening up the playbook. Like open it up. Open it up.
We know you can be better, Ben. We know Goff can be better. We know that offense is too damn good to stutter like this and only get one touchdown. We expect better. And the terrifying thing is for Lions fans, we actually have what we call expectations. And that is a weird thing to say for most Lions fans. I'll tell you that.
And again, everything that I'm showing here is to show you like how the game went. I'm not trying to knock them. I'm not trying to downplay anything. I know everybody seems to think I got this hate for Aiden Hutchinson. I prefer the different player for a lot of different reasons. I felt like we needed a secondary help. George Karlaftis doesn't have the sack total, but George Karlaftis is playing really well for Kansas City, and we could have got him. But I'm okay with what we got with him, especially when I see him do this to back up right tackles. As Aiden Hutchinson is right here, he just beats the brakes off of him. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And, look, there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. Right? Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this because it's 3rd and 8, and they're behind. Here's another opportunity for the Lions to go up. Another one. But watch what happens on the offense. Watch what happens on the offense. On 3rd and freaking 1. I want y'all to understand something. This is how you know Ben Johnson is second guessing himself. It's 3rd and 1. I do not care. Vita Vea is right here. You have Frank freaking Ragnow. You pay all this money to bring in Zettler. Like, run this damn ball. Like, it's 3rd and 1. It's 3rd and 1. Why are we passing?
You tell me Monty can't make that? I get Vita's a beast, but Monty will drag you at least a yard, even if it is Vay.
And granted, they're going to say, well, we completed it. Why are we passing?
You're making it way harder on yourself than what it needs to be.
Why?
It just looked, the offense just looked like they were struggling the whole dang game.
But here's another
It was
point.
just painful.
2nd and 6, right? He's right there.
Just throw it to him, dude.
Who are you zeroed in on? All right. So look, he gets it over here. But even if he just takes the other guy, cool. He zeroes it in. He gets it in the window. Good pass.
I mean, the only defense I have for that pass versus the other is if he would have caught that, the guy was zeroed right in on him. He would have just knocked him right down past the first down marker. But
this ticked me off. I remember this play. I remember. Oh my god!
I think I know this one.
Okay, understand something, people. It is 3rd and 10. I want you to pay attention to where they are because they are now back in the red zone again. And I want you to see something. All right. Jared Goff is trying to set this screen up. But I swear they ran this double route right here. He could have did it. This screen was so annoying that I do not understand what was the game plan here. And just food for thought.
This is some 4D chess shit right here. It's like
come on.
Again, what I said, behind the line. I hate this crap.
Right. Why are we doing it here? He had just changed the play, Jared.
It's like
look at this. Hold on. I want you to see this. This is St. Brown and J-Mo on the same freaking side. You have a corner here. You know the safety's got to help because he's probably over here somewhere. I can't see him in the screen. There you go. No, there you go right there. So you know the safety got to help. Look at this. And then they knew it was going to be a screen. I'm going to leave it alone. Let's go. Next play. Because this right here is not necessary. Terrible play call.
Which Bates has looked good so far. I'll give him his flowers.
I just... And I want y'all to understand something. This is Baker Mayfield. This ain't Kyler Murray. This ain't Lamar Jackson. This is Baker Mayfield.
I mean, he can get mobile.
I'm saying on the run, completing passes on 3rd and 10. Your defense can only do so much when they're stretched in. 2nd and 9, right? 2nd and 9. Like, come on.
Yeah, and they were just holding them up there.
And this should have been a hole right here. But everybody likes to talk about how Aiden Hutchinson is getting double teamed. Like everybody likes to talk about that. Like, and I'm not saying he don't
grab there.
I'm not saying he don't, but they're getting double teamed too. And he's gonna get help. Aleem gonna get help. But this is a tight end who pushed him off his spot and made him go wider. So he's coming back. But Aleem is getting help. He's just getting help. But this is what happens when you're playing for the referees. I don't play for the referees. I play to win the game. That's all I'm saying. Again, the Lions are getting ready for another game where, hold on, what they say? Let me see. Make sure I ain't forgetting nobody. Make sure I ain't missing the chat up. It was 2 other holding calls besides that one. We still can't play in the 3rd quarter. That's another problem that's been on the history of Ben Johnson. And I hope he fixes it. Tim Patrick, if he stays healthy, will be a benefit for us. I agree. My fix, Allen Robinson and Davenport. I think we got enough receivers out there. I don't want to muddy it up. It seems like we have a hard time.
Davenport with Allen Robinson, what the heck?
No, he's saying if you just get them guys back, he can fix some of these problems. Cap Ice Cole said, "Nah, I only wanted Kyle Hamilton. That's who I wanted." Being in school all day and give them more work. It's just stupid. I'm not even gonna play I'm gonna help him with the homework this time, but I'm gonna have to have a conversation with his teacher. We don't do no homework over here. No. Give him his work in there so he can do his things, and when he can come home, he can learn how to be in peace. James Hollyfield says, Luke, do you think we run the ball more this week? Hell yes.
Better.
Listen, hold on, let me show y'all. Hold on.
Be
Let me show
freaking
y'all.
better. You invest that much in running backs, and you have easily, I'd say, the best running backs probably in the NFL. And how many times do we run at this game?
27.
Compared to
27
55
times.
passing attempts? No.
Nobody, listen, when you're passing the ball that much, you are inevitably going to lose. I'm sorry. You're just going to lose. You cannot pass the ball that much. Like, to show you how crazy it is, the Bucs leading rusher was Baker Mayfield. That's the Bucs leading rusher. Okay. The problem with this you're going to run into, and I'm going to show you a stark difference between what should have happened in our game and did not, and what happened in theirs. Let me bring this up for you, okay? All right, let me bring this up for you. When the next game coming up, I want you to see something, all right? Now, notice that Kyler Murray threw the ball 21 times. 21 times for 3 touchdowns, okay? 2 of those went to Marvin Harris Jones, who only had 4 catches and still unmasked 130 yards. He literally had a J-Mo-esque game. J-Mo had 5 catches for 121, right? But what did they do? 40 rushing attempts to 21 passing. James Conner, 21 rushing attempts. Trey Benson, 11 rushing attempts. Didn't get much going, but they stuck with it.
So they beat the Rams the same way we've been saying to beat the Rams for years.
Which is run the damn ball. And when you look at it, when you look at the box score numbers, which don't tell you the whole story, but they give you a part of it. When you look at it, look at the pass deflects. They only got 2. But look at the tackles for a loss on Stafford and the running backs. Dennis Gardecki. I always pronounce people's names wrong. You know this. He had 3 sacks. Like, just to show you how crazy this is,
the O-line.
The Cardinals had 5 sacks that game.
So the O-line basically played like how we thought their O-line should have played week 1.
Right. Because these are backups. You got to beat the backups. So what does this tell me about the Lions? You have to be the bully ball guys. You have to be the enforcers. You have to be the one to establish this stuff. Well, these guys were getting home because they were wreaking havoc.
So the question I have about their defense is, what exactly is their weakness?
For the Cardinals?
Yeah, what is their main weakness?
To me, the biggest weakness for the Cardinals is their offensive line. We have to take advantage of it. And on top of their offensive line not being that good, they haven't really established themselves as an identity neither. Kyler Murray just wants somebody to throw to. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I love me some Kyler Murray. I mean, hey.
But I'm gonna dive deeper into that when I go and break down, our matchup for them at a later time. Detroit is only playing in the 4th quarter. They don't get the hot until then, and we can't have
story of our damn franchise.
We can't, we can't have it. I kept telling my friend at the game that we have to run the ball. We didn't. We didn't. The least expected, man, talking about them having 5 sacks as a team when Hutch had 5 sacks himself yesterday is crazy. Hutch had 4.5. Okay, that's 1. And 2, I'm comparing the game of the Cardinals to the Rams, a team that we played, to the now game the Cardinals played. The Cardinals went against the Rams, who had those same backups in and got 5 sacks. We went against those same Rams and got 2 sacks. And the only thing I kept hearing about was pressure. But now when he get the sacks, we don't hear about pressure no more. I only hear about the sacks. It's funny how we can change the narrative when it suits us to feel good about something. But at the end of the day, what the question was simply put, hey, what do you think we need to do to win this game? And I'm saying, look, you got to be able to do these things and do it. Where's the weakness at? I told you where the weakness is at. And I showed, look, at the end of the day, the Cardinals did to the Rams what we should have did. We should have been running the ball more. We're passing too damn much. We're passing too damn much.
And even then, we're not even passing for that many for even really down the field. We keep doing these tiny little dink and dunk passes that are just getting blown up right in our face.
313 Kurt, bro, you such a Hutch hater. Okay, I'll be it.
They're never
Listen,
going to let you live that down.
Listen, until people start to look at it objectively and move the emotional part out of it, whatever they say, I'll say it's true. Even though they probably didn't catch the show from the beginning and heard what I said about them, and they did not see what I posted on Instagram and in Discord about it, and in other mediums about it. I literally gave praise where praise was due. But the response that I gave was to somebody who was saying that we're talking about them getting 5 sacks against the Rams. Yeah, but your team didn't. And your guys were going back up against the backup.
I think they're just not going to forgive you for picking George Karlaftis over Hutch back in the day, even though I was on the Karlaftis train as well. And Kyle Hamilton.
And you know what? I didn't think about this least expected. You're right. They are trying to make freaking Jared Goff the star. They're all this, and I blame freaking Amon-Ra St. Brown for this Jared Goff, this BS chance. I blame him.
I'm so done with
I need him. If you want me to chant for you, play better. They trying to make you a freaking MVP of the league. Play better. Play like an MVP.
They're trying to make the guy into a martyr, and it's like I'm over in. I remember I was at a Wings game last year, and they're chanting Goff chants, and I'm like, God dang it.
Again, all I'm asking is ask yourself this question, okay? Because I know that somebody's going to say, "Oh no, that's not fair." I know they're going to say that's not fair, but I'm going to ask a question, okay? Very fair, legit question. All right, y'all ready for it? When you watch these last 2 weeks of football games, was the quarterback you paid good enough? That's all I want to know. Was he good enough? And if your answer is no, he wasn't good enough. If that was your answer, then you have all the information you need to have a conversation.
Potential spam.
Okay? You have all the stuff that you need. But I'm just pointing out there that when you look at it, the math ain't mathing. Ben Johnson's play calling, a joke. Jared Goff playing is a joke. And if you want to put it into a more of a perspective, just look at it. Just look at the numbers. Everybody gonna see them yards. I do not care. I do not. Because I guess watch this, y'all. Just pay attention. Watch this. Who has the most passing attempts? All right? Watch this. Who completed the most? It ain't Jared Goff. And watch this. Who has the most touchdowns? Still not Jared Goff. So all them yards with 1 touchdown. Who leads in interceptions? Oh, Jared Goff's in the top 3? Interesting. He's in the top 3. He's in the top 3 with a guy who's essentially a rookie in Anthony Richardson and a real rookie in Bo Nix. Yeah, brilliant.
For God's
and
sake,
Bo Nix is the only one who don't have a touchdown.
7.1.
I'm just saying. Just look at it. Just look at it. He has not been good enough. He just has not been. I don't even
want to look at it. That makes me want to puke looking at that.
He has not been good enough.
And we know he can be better.
He has to be better. He's averaging 6 yards, 6.3 yards of passing attempt. Look how far he down this damn list.
God damn.
He just has to be better. I'm sorry. Ben Johnson has to be better. And Ben Johnson can be better for him by taking the ball out of his hands in these situations and run the ball.
Stop trying to make the man force the pass. If he throws situationally, then he's fine. But if you force a guy like him to pass all the time, like he's Brett Favre or Matthew Stafford, he's going to F it up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
He ain't that guy.
Nope. Again, it's one of the things where, again, I wanted to have fun with this because, like I said, a lot of people went hiding. They disappeared as soon. And it's a reason why a lot of people didn't even show up to the video because they knew I was going to get patty today. because a lot of stuff that I complained about last week reared its ugly head again this week. You could have ran the ball the whole game against the damn Rams. The Cardinals proved this by running the ball 40 times. You want to know what you ran the ball? You want to know how many times you ran the ball against the damn Rams? Just guess. Just guess. Anybody guess. How many times did they run the ball against the Rams?
Oh, God. How many times did they run the ball?
They ran it 31. They ran it 31 times. But you want to hear the scary part? It took overtime for them to get there.
Yeah, that's literally how they did. They just ran it down their throat like they should have. It's like
it took overtime for them to get there. They weren't even really committing to the run late in the game. It took overtime to get there.
Well, what's amazing about that is you already proved that, yeah, you still could do it. You can still run it down their throats, but you're refusing to do it. You've already established that, yeah, Monty, Gibbs, you can either open up holes or you can just blast it up the middle. But you refuse to. You just keep leaning so heavy on the pass. It's like, good God, we can never get away from this whole pass thing for some weird reason. We were a run-first team last season. For some reason, now we want to be a pass-first. Why? Because J-Mo is all of a sudden now, well, J-Mo has looked actually somewhat like he's getting established, but it's like, it's still not an excuse.
Yeah, I just expect more. That's all.
You've always had expectations. A lot of us haven't, really, to be honest. And now that most of us have expectations, I think you're going to see a lot more pettiness. Honestly, I don't think many people are really, I think a lot of people in Detroit are pissed right now. And nobody at work wanted to talk football with me today because we were all types of bitter.
Cap Ice Cole says, I'm sorry, y'all crazy if y'all think Hutch being the only one with extra production is not good.
Didn't say it wasn't good.
I don't think I said that. I think my comparison was what we did to the Rams versus what the Cardinals did because they were asking me about the Cardinals game. Yeah, so
the only thing I'm just wondering is how do we go about it with the offense? Do we just run it down their throats?
I just think that we have to run the ball. We have to run the ball to put pressure on them to play catch up from behind. I love the fact that we're deferring to the second half, but it doesn't matter if you're not scoring. The good news is at least we're getting to the red zone. You just got to close the deal.
I know, but I hate being back in this position where we're struggling in the red zone. How many years I've seen that over the years, the Lions just struggling in a red zone. It's like, I thought you guys figured this out last season. You guys were like one of the top teams in the red zone. Now all of a sudden, what is this? You got Jared Goff off with a QBR of a 37.1.
We just need more. That's all it is.
We need more and we expect more. And we have just put up with way too much BS in this goddamn town. Starting to see why you're a fan of multiple teams.
It says, it's good. We need more people with production. Well, you know what happens, Cap Ice Code. When you don't get production from other people, we are critical of them. When you don't get production from the guy that we took second overall, it's about pressure. But look at the pressures he got. Look how many pressures. Now he actually gets sacked. I'm still waiting for people to come in with the pressure talk. We're not hearing it, but it's okay.
Man, that's just straight up.
Dan Spanos, who, by the way, he has a GoFundMe page. I posted it in our Discord, where you can donate for the his GoFundMe page. Again, you read the story and everything is on there. It was all linked and put out there. So check it out. But he says the real problem is that Goff has too much control over the offense in his hand. He killed the call play at least 10 times, and there could have been more. All of those plays turned into passes.
Really?
You know what?
I
didn't even think about that, Dan.
That's a possibility. I didn't think about that.
I swear I didn't think about how many plays he killed and turned it to a pass play. And if he's doing that, then we need to go back to spoon feeding him and telling him, no. You only change if you see this.
Isn't like the word for him it's like kill. That's him changing the play, isn't it?
I mean, it's more than just saying kill, but it makes me It makes me wonder like how many plays did he kill for real, for real. Hutch being the only one with actual production is in fact not good. Laughing a lot because we start to triple team him like the Bucks were. The Bucks were not triple teaming him. They definitely double teamed him. The Rams definitely triple teamed him because they knew that they was weak at that spot. The Bucks, for some reason, lost their damn mind and let him go one-on-one with the backup tackle. Then they started bringing the tight end to help out. They started bringing the running back to help out. But yeah,
that's like Hutch's greatest weakness is tight ends.
Well, now Luke Hutch is leading the league in sacks and pressures so far. So his pressures are important. I do not count pressures that do not result in negative plays.
I'm about to say, I think if you could redact that stat as in make it pressures but only count if it causes a negative play, I think you could take pressures a lot more seriously if they
they just count how close you get to a player.
I know, but that's why you can't take it seriously.
Yeah, but the two plays where I showed them getting real close to Baker Mayfield, those count as pressures. But like even this play right here, hold on. And this is why I don't respect the pressure stat because of stuff like this. And again, nobody has to share this view with me. This is just how I view it. If it don't result in a negative play, who cares? This play right here is going to count as a pressure for a defensive player. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Now, first of all, shout out to Wingo because this right here, that's grown man stuff. Man, what? Now, they double teaming the crap out of DJ Reader right here. But Wingo, good grief, my God.
He just bulldozed him.
This essentially counts as a pressure for these two players. Look how close they are. But this is what happened.
Yep.
So why do I care that that's a damn pressure when they scored a touchdown? Why do I care? It technically is a pressure for them, but why do I care? Right? It's a positive play. So pressure be damn. Okay. But again, just to show you, 3rd and 2. This is Ben Johnson for y'all people. Like, bruh. Jared. Oh, God damn it, Jared. Damn it, Jared.
You see the guy right there. He's right there, right in front of you. Nobody's close to him. Could you maybe, I don't know. Is that extra chromosome in your brain firing off there, Jared?
Jared. You know what? I take that back. No, you know what? I can't. I got to adjust it. No, I gave 75. I did. I gave 75 to Ben Johnson, and I do believe he holds the bulk of it. I'm a bump it down to 60. Yeah, I'm gonna bump it down to 60.
After hearing about that one where he was killing plays, I don't know whether or not that's true or not, but if that is true, he was changing up the plays. That really makes me think.
I'm putting 35 on Jared Goff. This is ridiculous. What the fuck? What? Who? Like, Jared? Why? Why, Jared?
It's like he's just trying to force the highlight plays. Is what he's trying to do.
Why?
Why throw it into coverage? You can see he's clearly being covered. I get it's Amon-Ra. He's a dog, and he can make catches like that. But you're risking a 50-50 chance here, man. And he's right in front of you. Just pass the freaking ball right in front of you, man.
Who is the nearest Buccaneer? Who's the nearest Buccaneer? Show me the nearest Buccaneer to this man. For him not to see this. This lets me know he is force-feeding receivers.
Didn't we say this last year about what he would do?
Oh, my God. People, look at this.
Oh, my Lord.
God, you showing this to me. It burns my eyes, man. I'm taking it back. I take some of it off. Ben still got the problem, but this.
Oh, my God.
I want y'all to understand something. Watch this. Watch how many people come. That's 5. That's 6. Now, number 0, which is Dobby, is going to back out. Jared. All right, yeah. Let me go and get up out of here because my blood pressure can't take it. I don't need to be getting myself worked up over dumb stuff, and this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it.
Crap.
Like, oh my god.
Like, I don't even know if he was actually changing plays. Jeez, that really messes up the freaking percentage if that's actually true. Oh, I never thought of that, but that's a possibility. It just,
Give the people your final thoughts, brother.
Oh my God. I pray to freaking God that we correct this. I hate having expectations, and I don't want to be let down when I look at this division. If we don't win this division, oh my God. Petty Luke, I think, is going to evolve into something else.
Oh, and listen, I was a little peaceful today.
Yeah. You were.
I was, I could have really went full-fledged a-hole. I know,
but if we don't win this division, I don't want to know what levels of petty you're going to be.
Yeah, it's not going to be. I'm gonna leave it alone. The Lions will get better because they have no choice but to go up. This is bad. This is as bad as it's going to get, as it should be. But they have no choice but to go up. But I need Jared Goff to go back and literally look at this and ask himself, why was he forcing it to other people?
I think the man needs LASIK is what he needs. Oh my God, how do you not see that guy right in front of you?
Exactly. Shout out to my man Normus J in the building. He says, "What's good, Luke?" It says, "How are you, brother? Well wishes to you and the family. Appreciate it. Same to you. I'm good. Hope you're doing well. And you can't do it." Dan Spano says, "It's true. I heard kill on a ton of plays when I was watching it on TV. And see, this is the thing. I watch the games with no volume, so
yeah."
Because I don't want to hear the commentary or the sway. So what I do is I just play music and watch the game attentively. But I'm picking up what you're putting down. But yeah, give me your final thoughts, Cram, since I gotta help my son with this homework. These people are ridiculous. It's too early in the school year for this crap.
Well, it's too early to be pushing the panic button, guys. It sucks that we lost, but you know what? We've lost week 2. This is like the 3rd time in a row we've lost week 2. So, hey, I mean, if we're known for starting off slow, then so what? Chiefs lost to us before, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. It's too early to panic, guys. Let's just try to regroup. Just go back, look at the playbook, and get down to Arizona and try to bring home a win. How about it, guys?
100%. And you know me, I can't end the show unless I end it on a positive note. Today's positive quote comes from the internet. It says, "Change is the end result of all true learning." Change is the end result of all true learning. What's the point of learning something if you're just going to repeat the same thing over? Some of y'all do this quite often. Y'all seem to think that you can keep doing the same thing over and over. And I'm not talking insanity, people. I'm just talking the idea that you think you can change the outcome because you had another go at it. Sometimes if you truly learned a lesson from something, there's no need to repeat said lesson. I'll give you an example of this. I'll never forget when I was a young boy that my mother used to smoke cigarettes, and she asked me to light her a cigarette on the stove because her lighter was not working. So I decided to take a puff of the cigarette. Now, me being about 6 or 7 years of age, and my mother not really understanding the dangers of cigarettes to children or herself, she gets me to light this up, and she instantly recognized that I puffed the cigarette, and I could not figure out how she figured it out. Now, as I got older, I realized that when I puff a cigarette, the ash from the cigarette shows. I never learned the lesson from this, right? But here's the lesson I learned from it. When I puffed that cigarette, my mother told me, no, take a deeper puff. I choked so bad that the snot ran out of my damn ears. And the lesson was learned. I've never smoked a cigarette ever again in my life. I had a friend who died in a drunk car accident. I don't drink because of that reason. I have so many examples of lessons that were taught to me that I avoid because of those lessons. Some of you don't seem to heed to the lesson. If you have truly learned something, then the end result must be you change after you learn it. When you know better, you do better. And if you do not do better in the midst of you knowing better, then it simply means that you are being an instrument to your own demise, your own creation of chaos, your own uncomfortability, your own private hell, if you will, to say. But guess what you can do? You can go out and learn something new and change the results of those things. You can go out and take lessons from other people without having to repeat those mistakes. There was somebody who decided to go and see what that red stuff was in the top of the mountain that was spewing out and it was hot and fell in for us to know that lava would kill you. There was somebody who stood outside with an umbrella under a tree just so you can learn that lightning will find you. There was somebody who went to try to swim across the smallest of lakes so you can know that water will take you out. You cannot keep letting these people leave in vain. Now, Detroit D got in a little bit late. I've been on for an hour and 40 minutes, but you know what? He patiently told me he was going to come. And I'm going to let him talk his talk. You know, he came on my final thought. I'm going to let him talk his talk. This is going to be my time of adjustment. But I want y'all to know one thing. If you're going to do something, learn the lesson and learn it well. Detroit D, you're a little late to the party.
My bad, brother. My bad.
Little late, but I'm going to let you have it, brother. Listen, talk your stuff, man.
All right. First and foremost, you know, we've all been clamoring for our defensive line to get some sacks. Hutch by itself got 4.5. But the game of football is called making plays. But the plays need to be made at the right time. The game always comes down to about 4 plays. Every game that really cost you the game. We can't keep doing this turnover thing. Our quarterback got 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. He has to play better. He can't live in the middle of the field. He got to throw outside the numbers. I know he don't like it, but we got to keep the defense honest. And we need to run Montgomery more and sprinkle Gibbs in, or put both of them out there at the same time so you don't know who's going to get the goddamn ball.
Yeah, to nauseam, I cannot stress enough how our identity was never realized in either of these games. And if you go back to last year, people knew that we were going to come in and hit you in the mouth running the ball. And we didn't do it. I agree. We didn't do it. They knew that we were going to come in and hit you in the mouth running the ball. And we didn't do it. So I totally get it. It's one of the things that you don't expect for it to happen. But at the end of the day, you're right. It is usually about 4 or 5 plays, and those plays that are happening, you can just look at it. If you just think that if we get 2 out of the 4, if we got 2 out of the 7 trips,
we win easily.
We win. This offense scores 7 points, and I believe they're too good for that. And to go back, and again, I haven't even went and did the full all 22 dive of the game yet because I'm a parent. I got a damn newborn and everything. So, but I can tell you right now. Just today, I'm saying that I'm like, man, how?
Yeah, and no, we need to have no AG slander. Right now, the defense is playing good, not great, but it's vastly improved from last year. Terrion gonna get it together. He's a rookie playing the hardest position in the game, but I'm not understanding what our offense is doing, man. It's mind-boggling. I just don't understand it.
Well, again, my hope is, we do better overall, because even I'm starting to have concerns when it comes to St. Brown. He's had a few drops that I'm like, damn, you don't usually drop those. What's going on?
I want to say, Luke, the offensive struggles is a part of. They didn't get any run in the preseason. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I'm not. We're not gonna do that. But we're not gonna give them that because a lot of people didn't play they starters in preseason. That's not what's going on here.
Yeah, but I mean, the play calling has been shoddy for sure.
I mean, even this right here, just as a quick before again, my son's like, man, Daddy, when you gonna? I got you, son. I promise you. Nothing's more important. But even this one right here, I'm gonna show you. This is just simply on golf, right? This is just simply on golf. It's 3rd and 6.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 3rd and 6. Okay. You cannot throw it less than the sticks, or you have to be more patient.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he kept throwing it behind the freaking first down.
There's nobody by him. He had a little bit more time, but he has this guy underneath. So he has this guy underneath. He has this guy underneath. He has J-Mo coming up over here. He's going to come up underneath here. But he's so hell-bent on getting the ball here.
Yeah, to St. Brown.
Who then drops it. Like,
it's just mind-boggling. But guess what, though, Luke? We right where we were after 2 weeks last year, 1-1.
true, but
And guess what,
but ideally we need to be 3-1 in this quarter.
bro? It's no way we supposed to be 2-0 easily. Our offense is holding us back. Last year was our defense. Couldn't know they was holding us back because they couldn't stop nobody. Now it's the offense.
And again, I totally get it.
And I'm not understanding, some of this, what you can't scheme Laporta 3 or 4 catches a game? Come on. I got people talking about he may be hurt. I'm like, bro.
Man, he ain't no hurt. This dude is getting open.
Hey, I don't know what's going on with our quarterback, man, but he got to have better pocket presence and better vision. He got to protect the ball.
What it is he's committed to the receivers. He's committed to J-Mo. He's committed to St. Brown. That's just the reality. Because even right here, it's 2nd and 10. Just take what they're giving you.
Thank you.
Look at this. They're giving it to you.
Tim Patrick.
Like,
yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, take it.
Stop right here. When you could throw him open right here. Come on. Why he got to stop?
Thank you.
Take what they're giving you.
And I was so pissed, bro, that they never took a shot at the end zone on that last drive. Our defense got us the ball back with less than 4 minutes left twice.
Well, you know what?
It was always a lot of those moments where we just kept going right behind the yellow line. He just was so afraid to pass 10 yards. I don't know why.
And why would they run Gibbs up the middle and not Monty?
But I want to show you something. This is the play before the half. All right. I want you to understand it's 17 seconds.
Okay.
All right. At this point, it's 15. This ball needs to go either to the end zone or to this guy so he can get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Oh, yeah.
We put the ball in the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah. He had to get it to his binky.
Now, St. Brown trying to make a play, I get it. But even he has to know, get down and get down quick. Now, at this point, it's 12 to 11 seconds, 10.
Yeah.
They running up to get the ball down to spike it.
I
do not care about this because this ball needs to either go to the end zone or out of bounds.
Thank you. Especially if you know you ain't got no more timeouts.
So, But again, bro, I wanted to give you a chance to talk your talk. I do got to go help my son with his homework.
Appreciate it, brother.
I've been on for 1 hour and 47 minutes. But yeah, I gotta go do it. Get the people your final thought, man. And you can hit me up on Instagram. We can chat it up on there.
Already. Hey, my final thought is this still a Super Bowl season for us. We just got to get better quarterback play, and we all should be happy that our defense is playing far better than they was playing last year. And that's all I got to say, Luke.
Hey, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification button. As always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out.